Give me the rundowns and where for angles and all that kind of stuff. Where you want me at with mic distance.
Oh,
and
honestly, it's like I'm learning as I go too, but usually just like right in front of you. I think it's better to probably have it higher, and further away than lower.
Gotcha.
I don't know. It's kind of just all common sense. I don't know anything.
It's all common sense. You'll figure it out, Dave. I'm like, cool.
Okay, so we don't really have to like go in any particular direction. I just thought this was cool because I haven't seen you in fucking forever, and it's like, so when was the last time? Like, where are you at now as far as like life wise? And I know we kind of just talked about it a little bit like
Big
over there.
Question. We get it going. Life wise, man. So still training. Been doing that for. I just told a guy today. He's like a new guy at the gym out there. He's like, how long you been training for? It's like, it's almost embarrassing to say it's been 20 years, like just about going on 20 years. I can officially say I've been training longer than I haven't been training now.
Yeah, but that's not embarrassing. That's awesome.
I'm old guy status now. I'm the old guy trainer. I feel like in London now I'm becoming that guy. So
yeah, but that's kind of like what you always want. Like not you, but like any that's the ultimate. Like that means you have credibility.
It also means I'm pretty pot committed now. I don't know if I can change careers at this point.
Well, upgrade, I mean, maybe not change, but like
evolve.
Still with it, evolve for sure.
At this point, right? So, floating around. Like I said, I'm over at Forest City Fitness doing that for now, and kind of.
How long you been there? Like basically
since they opened. Before they opened, I was over when
really
when they're building it, kind of deal, putting it together.
Because that was right after
5, 6, 7 years. I don't even know. It's been.
I think it was like shortly after, because I actually remember there was a gym in there previous to them, right?
Good Life.
And Joe gave me, or I bought the mirrors that were on the wall off of that Good Life down there. So obviously I must have been. So since the beginning, you were like just right in there. You weren't at that Good Life before, were you?
No, I was. Again, I'm like the hermit crab trainer that just floats around till my shell gets too small and then I upgrade or whatever.
It's
it's worked for me, right?
Sure.
Since leaving Good Life back in the day. So I was over at Anytime Fitness.
Yeah.
Right.
Before City.
Cats there. Yeah.
Okay. A timeline, I guess, is like so off.
That piece it together. So that was only like a year, and then that shut down. Joe was a member there, so he switched over. He's like, I'm gonna capitalize on these members that are looking for somewhere to go.
Yeah. Totally.
So
I remember
opened
that.
up, and that's when I was like, all right, cool. Well, I officially need a spot now to bring my clientele.
Cool.
Right. So I jumped over there and have been there since.
So it hasn't been too much jumping around. I know trainers that are like year to year at different spaces.
Yeah, maybe not year to year, but when you've got a 20-year track record, it starts. Like I spent a good five or so at Good Life initially, 5 or 6, and then I branched out, and I've been at I'm trying to think, one studio, another gym, maybe 3 or 4 spots since Good Life. So I don't know.
Yeah,
it's not too much. But
and one of those is the place closing.
Yeah.
So you're at your train. Are you there? How many clients you rock? Do you have a full?
Yeah, I mean, I've been pretty blessed that way, man. Like I find that
I would assume so. I mean, do you work like a 10-hour days, or you like?
That's never been me.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
I don't like that.
No.
I was just thinking today. I was like, just smiling. As I'm heading to work today, beautiful day, sun shining, and I was like leaving at 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
to go
that's
meet my
perfect.
first client. I was just thinking, I've always kept Mondays pretty light that way.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'm never going to be that guy that wants to do the 8-10 hours of training a day. You could, but it's just like for the quality of life I want, the time with my kids and other stuff, never been my thing. So I like kind of like that 4 to 6 clients a day is like my sweet spot.
Do you usually split it? Are you a morning and afternoon guy, or all at once usually?
Yeah, like the trainer lifestyle.
Yeah.
You can choose to be the morning guy or the evening girl,
or a little both.
Or you got so I tend to do a little bit of both. I get the morning drop off at home with the kids, right? That's kind of my thing. So I do the school then. So I don't take like early clients. I usually don't start earlier than like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I'll do that for a couple hours to get that nice afternoon break for my own training and whatever else. And then a few more in the afternoon, evening, but I cap it at 6.
And so you're home before they're in bed and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's important to me, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I've been like, Tatum's obviously not as old as you guys, but I've been super lucky. Like me and Jade, we can whoever, like we kind of work back and forth, but we offset our schedule. So like I have those mornings, like she has the mornings, and then we're usually both like, is a good balance, like how much you're able to be home. And like it's silly as it sounds, like I say to myself and Jade all the time, like I could never imagine like even working less hours, even like a 9 to 5 or something like that. And then only having like small windows, like working a regular job and still never seeing like being that much more absent is like, wow, cause that's normal. Like that's completely acceptable. But like, I'm grateful that like,
well, especially as they get older too, like there's certain things where like I love being, I think it depends too what kind of parent you are, who like how much you want to be involved. But I like being the guy that can do the field trips with the kids.
Sure,
like,
for sure.
Volunteer at the school for a bit, or like, you know, doing like hot lunches with the kids and like that stuff I dig.
I can't wait.
You can't do that with a 9 to 5.
Totally.
Or, you know, all the time at least. But if I need to adjust my schedule, I get it. I can do it. My clients are down with it and stuff, right? So I don't see another way to go if I want to maintain this lifestyle, right? So,
was it, were you guys, did you find like you were already in that workflow when you guys just first had kids, or was it like
pretty much?
Because you were like obviously it's still established and like trainer wise.
Nothing changed. The only thing that changed was I was starting to dabble with some of the bodybuilding stuff, like you know, more so I could train other people through it, right? So obviously you knew I was kind of in that circuit for a little bit, and I was like telling the story that like Bryn had just been born, and I was about to get ready for whatever another show attempt of the whole process. So I was like walking to the treadmill. I'm like, all right, I got like an hour to rock. Let's go. And I got like 5 minutes in, and I just felt like I missed my daughter. Like,
man, that's cool. Like, because I can totally relate to
like, you know what? It was a toss. I was like, I'm done with this. This is good. I'm gonna go and just do the dad thing.
Never. I would never make that choice over like spending that time.
I didn't have like crazy potential. Like I was doing it I wanted to do one show just to understand the process more about the prep side of things, so I can say, hey, like if I'm going to coach someone through it, I know what it's like mentally. So it's not.
There's a lot of stuff like that like it's so easy to make, or maybe not so easy, but it's hard for me to rationalize why people make that other choice, like to be on the, simply put, just to be on the treadmill for an hour versus like,
you gotta have a good reason, man. Right?
I think. But even if people have kids and stuff like that, like I'm always like, man, like, I don't know. You kind of, it's a different aspect from being.
It's not like, you know, I always feel bad. I try to like bite my tongue sometimes because I don't want to knock parents that aren't maybe as into it.
I get it. Yeah. Like maybe that's kind of why I stopped talking.
Stuff. And I know some people that are great parents that are just a little more hands off and they don't need as much time, whereas like I kind of need that. So I was like, I don't see this.
Do you think
justify it?
Like, I think talking about it right now, like, do you think we've just, not to say we deserve any type of like I almost feel like everything business wise and work ethic wise, like because sometimes you just people don't have the ability to make that choice too. Like that's our reward to kind of like get us in the situation to be able to make those decisions where like you can go on lunch and stuff like that, or like whatever the small little like partaking in their lives. That much more is.
You know, like there's the trade off obviously with any kind of like business that you run your own show kind of deal, right? And like there's a lot of things I wouldn't mind having from a 9 to 5 and whatever else, but at the same time, you know,
you'd never trade it for like being able to go on field trips and stuff.
For sure.
Do you have any plans to have more?
No, I don't think so.
Yes or no?
So. That's not there's no actual plans to do it, but I love kids, man. So like, I don't know.
You never say never.
I don't know. Yeah. Like I could see myself with just like 7 little people floating around. Like I think that's cool because that's your tribe when you get older, right? But I think two is a good number. Yeah. I always wanted at least one more than one. So we're in that zone and it's a handful.
Did you notice how different are they in ages? Just a year?
6 and 4.
2 years.
Yeah.
That's like, did you notice a big difference when there was another one? I asked this because it's like kind of
is that what you're thinking?
No, I don't know. Like same, maybe yes, maybe no. Like I've like kids and like kind of the same thing, that the same answer I would have given at the earlier stage of my life about having one kid. Yeah. It's like
maybe not.
Yeah. So, but
did you always want kids? Was that the
thing? I think so. Like I don't know. Yeah. I did. Jade was kind of like more no, but obviously like everything's amazing once you have a kid. Yeah. So not to say that, but the one thing you hear about having one is like another one to play with, generalized. Like, did you notice I'm asking from a personal standpoint, did you notice a big difference?
Yeah. Big changes across the board, right?
And she who's older?
Bryn.
Was only 2, right? So it's still not probably developed where it would be if she was like 5 or 6 and
her like having a say in it.
Yeah, or like just the way she acted in general.
No, I mean, she's like, early on, it was just curiosity with her, obviously seeing who this other person is in the house, sharing space with her and stuff. But they're good. They mix well.
Yeah.
Now they're a bit older. There's more of these like
brother sister
comments of like, I just wish she was never born. Or like, you can't be saying
yeah,
that crap,
no
right?
kidding.
But no, it's cool. Like the biggest change up for us was, I always say, when you've got one kid, especially if there's 2 people like in the household kind of taking care of them, you can do the trade off, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm tired. Like, I'm gonna take a nap.
Yeah.
You're in.
Yeah.
You're with the kid kind of deal. When you got 2, it's not fair to be like, hey, you take both kids for a while I take a nap. So it's kind of like you can just trade from one to the other. So you're just on more. Is what I felt like, right? But then you obviously what it's like to
figure it out,
sleep and stuff for the first. So you just like accept, okay, I'm not gonna sleep as much, and there's gonna be a lot of work. And it is what it is, right?
None of that matters once you realize it's all worth it. Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know. Like, do you have brothers and sisters?
I have a younger brother who's basically he's 2 years younger than me.
Okay, so I was the only child, and that was an important factor for me.
Yeah,
he said having someone else to play with, and whatnot.
and that was like Jade has a sister, but like I think she's technically like she has a half or a sister, but Jade probably was under the more single sibling, and I was like, but I never like had, I don't know. Yeah. So you were like, because you
wanted, had a lot of solo time. Right? Where like, I don't know, it's cool. I like being an only kid. There's a lot of upsides to that and stuff, but I figured growing up, it'd be nice to have a little playmate. And I think more often than not, even now that they fight more and stuff, they get along more, and they have like, it helps you as a parent because you can like, they'll just
work
off
through
and do
stuff
their thing for a few hours, like playing Legos or doing stuff, right?
Yeah,
or,
for sure.
Or like the cute crap where every now and then they'll be doing something, and Bryn will just wrap an arm around and be like, bro, I love you.
Yeah.
Gets on the head. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Right? So
yeah,
I recommend it. I think you should do it. Man.
I know it's
make another one.
Yeah, I would see if Jade doesn't listen to them anyway, really? So I got to tell her. But it's hard. It's it's hard to definitively say yes or no. But I guess then maybe for some people it's not hard to say that. But.
Yeah. Depends who you are, and like I said, if you're, I don't know, like a diehard parent, like I remember being 23. For some reason, at that age, I was like, I want to be a dad. Yeah. It just like, hit me.
Yeah.
Right?
I think I deep for sure. And like, I even confirming it with Tatum, it's like, I could, it's like an endless amount of motivation that you just have all the time.
Yeah. So the question I like to ask people, or like, check with parents now, is I had a weird kind of moment when Bryn was first born, because I felt like, it sounded weird, but I was like, I guess like my life is over. Like everything Dave is kind of done. I just don't feel the need to go on, like not to die, but I mean like to pursue my stuff. It's like, okay, that's on the back burner now. It's about this person, right?
Yeah.
So I always like, when I think of myself now, I'm dad first.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's my main calling in life at this point, and then everything else is secondary. So I still have personal drives.
But in a weird way, like I say, like you can also, I would look at it as in like, now it's time to double down on me. Not in a selfish way, in a double down on me, like as far as what am I doing, growing the business, doing this.
To provide a strong foundation.
Yeah, and like not.
But even that's still through the lens of like bettering this person.
Totally, and I would have never. Yeah, that's 100% only through the lens of realizing like I got to work endlessly now. Not 24/7 to never see her and blah 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 blah. But I got to be the best person I can. That means being that much more effective here. That means being like, venturing out and being able to, because you are like, I am self-employed. So it's like, I was like, now I have all the shit that I'd be like, I'll do it tomorrow for, the gym or any business. It's like, now I'm like, and it's still not perfect, but there's always that like,
drive, right?
Yeah. So it's fun. Good. 2 different perspectives. Cause like, you're selfless, and that's not saying, and if we work hard enough and get where we want to be as like people, that'll afford us, not necessarily financially always, but like the luxury of doing whatever it is that you want to do with your kids or for your kids. Or
for sure. Like for sure. Yeah. It's definitely, I feel like it's made me a better person, at least.
Cause that question of like, is this the end of me?
Yeah.
Is like, I think it becomes such a silly question once you have a child.
Yeah.
It's like, why I'm only even that self selflessness.
Come around to that now, understanding. Right?
Yeah.
Like it takes a minute at first to be like, well, I guess there's no need to push me and my goals anymore because that's about them. But like you said, you come back to it, you go, well, no, do push your goals and improve yourself. So that
as long as you're not, your goals aren't just like, that goal you're pushing harder for isn't like, it can be getting in shape, but it's like, I'd say it's more driven for the future of my kid now.
Yeah.
My own push to better myself is like for her.
Yeah.
Or family,
Is she floating around the gym scene
all the time?
Yeah.
Like not all, like she's lucky for us when she was just turned 1. So if school started in September, she's birthday's at the end of September. So she was actually 1. She was 1 when she started daycare. Mm-hmm. So for us, she's been like again, I say in quotation school, but we call it school, 5 days a week, regular school schedule. So it's not like we have to bring her here where we don't have care for her or anything like that. But like everyone, she runs around. I want to bring her here as much as possible. People, like everything. She
That's
like.
why I asked. That's kind of like the dream, right? Like I like the idea of this is what I do. Obviously, I live in a gym. Mm-hmm. My kids get that. They know that. They like being in that setting too. Yeah. I don't have my own gym like you do, right?
Yeah.
So I always thought, like, that'd be so sweet if I had my spot.
It's pretty cool,
I want them in here. I mean, it sounds weird comparing them to a gym dog, but that's the kind of thing I want you to just float around like you're a part of.
Yeah,
this,
and she's only when now it's really on the weekends or just her time. She's after school she's at home with us and she's not there in the morning. But on the weekends, we'll come. Jade has her client, and me and Tatum will just like do like it sounds so silly, but we're doing like I'm doing like. She's watching people do squats. She'll do squats. Now, like after...
What's she deadlifting these days?
Yeah, we're working on the broomstick. Like it's all just like processing it more than anything. And, it sounds ridiculous even talking about it, but like...
I don't think so, man.
It's not the pro... Like to put the broomstick on her back...
Yeah.
It doesn't even register of why she's doing it. Obviously not. Yeah. But now she'll bring we were watching this lady a couple weekends ago do like leg raises on the mat. So like when me and her will usually, because Jade has one client in the morning, 9 to 10 on Saturdays, and then after 10 we'll go for breakfast or something like that. So from 9 to 10 we usually wait around from Jade, and Tatum will go over the wall, grab the mat off, put it on the ground. Dad, come lay next to me, and she'll like half-ass these leg raises. I'll tell her like she knows where the towels are. Like I joke about it, but I'm like, only soon enough I can have you cleaning the gym and stuff like that. And like
have the idea of your kid working in
gym. Yeah. Even like with the store when we first were opening it, like we were joking with her, like play ringing through the till, go get this, and like I want her again up here. This is our home away from home. So up here, like you'll see her toys all over the place. She knows this as her like a home away from home. So it's easy to be at the gym.
It's a nice way to blend family with work.
And it's and even separate them. Like she can come here and like me and her can spend the day here, and it's really the same thing as spending the day at home. But she's not in the gym up here, right? She can kind of like it is literally like a little home away from home.
That's sick.
I want her. Yeah, she's here, and everyone just like loves her and stuff like that. Obviously, so.
No, I think you got the little dream going on with that, man. That's
cool. So speaking of kind of which, in a little bit is like how out there are you with what you might want to do next?
Like gym space and that.
Yeah,
kind of
like
stuff.
even saying that.
Saying gym space, just gym. No, I'm actively hunting kind of deal, right? But more so. I mean, you know how it is. We talk about this space here and how you kind of stumble across a gem, right? A gem of a gym. And that's really what it comes down to is like the right space, the right location, the right timing. So it's just, I've got a fine setup going now with what I'm doing. And I call it like diversifying my efforts, where now it's like, again, due to COVID, more online training, a couple different gyms going on and at home, like give me an excuse to just outfit that. So I'm good with where I'm at business wise, but again, I love the idea of having the brick and mortar going. So
is it one thing at the time? Is it the type of thing that like pretty much in the future you'll have your own big gym somewhere?
Some kind of gym. I don't know what size.
But that's like size, that part of your path is
the next step. I got to go there if I'm going to keep growing or changing. It's like whatever. That's probably the next step. So because I asked myself too. I'm like, okay, I'm turning 38 in 2 days, right?
Oh, so nice. Happy birthday in 2 days. Yeah.
Thanks, man. But you can't be like, well, I guess you can be an older.
24th?
That's weird. 23rd, right? But it's like, I don't know if I want to be that, like, I don't know how long I can be the one-on-one trainer guy, or like, I can do other things, but I'd like to have something where I can always train because that's a passion of mine, but I like to scale it back a little bit and just keep some of my top, rockstar clients,
for sure.
And then have something like I said, my own gym where I can grow into, bring the family into it and that kind of stuff.
So how long have you been into CrossFit mode?
I'm new. I'm freshy, man. So
like what?
Maybe like 7 months. I've been training it myself. Like,
can you? Okay, because I've had I've had a couple of Sarah and Jacob from OEV. They came on, and who else was I talking about? But little side note is like, do you train on the weekend?
Like myself or clients kind of?
No, yourself.
Yeah.
Can you come here and do a workout with me?
Yeah. What kind of work? What do you mean?
CrossFit workout.
Oh, you want to?
Like I'm like, so give you a little context. Over COVID, jumping around a little bit, we're kind of expanding the showtime. This will all connect at the end.
All right.
Into like adding a wellness, aspect to showtime, and more so being like eventually some sort of physio, like
one-stop health shop.
Yeah, but a little, like when I say wellness, I mean like kind of a little bit geared towards the medical, but like physio, like, a massage therapist, a dietitian, stuff like that, and have like a team that works for that. So I've ran into me and this guy linked up, and he's kind of the first, I guess, aspect of the wellness team, and we've, he's going, and I can tell you about that and how that might or may not be an option in the future. But anyways, he's super rehab driven, active rehab driven. So during COVID, I basically like reset everything, like almost didn't work out, but like worked in the same aspect, worked on myself harder than I ever have before. So everything just from a total active rehab, why my shoulders are limited, but undoing all bodybuilding restrictions that I've built for myself. And functional training, like getting everything working right. A lot of like Bosu ball, like, active rehab, really. Any injuries, figuring out where they stem back to, figuring them all out. And then in the last like 6 months, I've kind of been now say healthy, and then kind of now taking training on back again in the way that like isn't rehab oriented.
Yeah.
So having said that, I'm doing a lot, no more like, everything has a purpose as far as functional strength, and where I'll say bodybuilding movements fit in there, they do or don't, but most times they don't. And then having said that, I've just like CrossFit, when you drop all, preconceived notions toward it that you would have, is like the ultimate thing to like be exactly what you said over there, like be functionally fit, and like, I'll still get, that's harder than 99% of, it's, some people disagree, but if you do one to the same extent, it's fucking hard. Like harder training, I think, than like most bodybuilders actually push themselves to and stuff like that. So,
I'll put bodybuilders in this category. So I used to look at CrossFit and say that when I didn't appreciate it and I didn't really look into it too much, I saw it coached improperly at places. You hear a lot of people get injured and this and that. So I'm like, CrossFit's garbage, like, whatever. And whatever. But I used to look at it and go, these people, good CrossFitters, are just people that like to suffer, or that are good at suffering.
Totally.
Right. And obviously there's a lot more to it than that, but that's a component to it. And now I look at it more as like a self-discipline thing where you can understand, hey, we're pushing through some pain or whatever. And that's something I think is probably huge.
It's for sure. But also like what you said, the people that do each one correctly, like, properly in the high. Yeah. So I've been like, fuck, I got to go down to OEV, but I'm like, I joke with them, but I'm not really joking. I'm like, I want to come in at like midnight when no one's in here, and like not be like, classic new gym. Like you think I'd get it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I want to come in here. I want to come in here at midnight when no one's in here, and like you just put me through a workout. And so like my excuse to go there might even be one step closer, and like I'll walk you through it. And like again, and would you be able to like, where do you do your CrossFit training?
So I train at home a lot. I've got just enough space for that in my little home gym.
We could do one here if no one's right. Like
for sure. Yeah. I mean, it looks like you've got more than enough equipment and space kind of deal, right? Depending on what the workouts are.
Yeah. But you could write something out that we could easily do in there, and that would give me.
Sure. So,
okay.
And definitely. I did some, so I linked up with those guys over at OEV to do the open workout. So I took part in the open this year for the first time.
That was just that recently, right?
Yeah, just wrapped up. So
how was that?
It was good. It was good. I don't know. Like I think it's interesting going into something like a new type of sport or workout style where you're like, okay, I've got ability. Like I grew up as an athlete and I had, X many years of training under my belt. I'm new to CrossFit though. So there's a lot of movements that I'm just not efficient with yet, or that I have to kind of just, be smoother with. But I can just like will through it with fitness kind of deal, right?
What was your expectations going into it? Just do it, see what happens.
Yeah. So you
survive, finish them.
It's finish them and finish it. Like you're probably familiar with the RX versus scaled options, right? So RX being
no, I don't even know that.
Here's how the workout's written. If you want to do it as prescribed, RX.
Okay, makes sense.
And then if you can't do that, you can scale it.
Okay,
so they have options for that. And I was like, okay, well, I'm fit, I'm strong, I think. So I'm just gonna get through it. Typically, like it's easy. Well, maybe not easy to injure yourself, but you can if you're just going hard with new moves and really know what you're doing. So I was like, okay, don't injure myself and get through it, RX, and which I did. So that's cool. That's cool. So I don't know, got it done. But it's my first time, so I had no.
So I'll like even. I'm gonna genuinely follow. Like maybe I'll even pay you to come work out with me here to like do it. Do it like I want to do it when no one's in here. Like again, to circle back around. I'm doing a lot of cardio now. Like I say a lot. I'll do 20 or 30 minutes. I'll do a cardio session a day where I'm like shirt soaked, pants soaked. But I want to combine those two. Like I want to be able to switch it up and like get that sweat in and like cardiovascular in while doing like, some sort of workout.
So first step is we'll start calling it conditioning.
Yeah, perfect.
Right? I think that's like my mindset. When I think cardio, I think classic cardio.
Yeah,
sitting there for 45 minutes on the elliptical or whatever that is.
Yeah. Condition. You're right.
Conditioning, I like to look at it as like engine work now. So I've kind of got high engine work, a low engine work, and you're gonna with all the stuff you do with you're doing functional training, you're not really breaking as much. Like today before I came here, I was just a little tired out, so I was just doing classic bodybuilding stuff, and it's been a while since I've done that, so it felt weird now to do like I was superset stuff, so like 1 set, 2 set. It's like this is fucking weird. Like I need to move, right? So most of the CrossFit workouts you're gonna do, I mean, you've got rest built in, but it's just like more movement I find and more full body exposure. So I'm
perfect.
Sweaty all the time.
Yeah,
it's just like you don't have to go and be like, okay, I did my training. Now I'm gonna go do cardio to get.
Well, I see those honestly, and then even what drove me to this kind of like realization is like seeing some of those like top. Again, forgive my ignorance. Top CrossFit competitions and seeing those people and just seeing how like absolutely like I'll say just simply put in shape they are is like fuck that's
and well-rounded. That's
goal.
The piece that gets me, right?
Yeah, well-rounded. So to be able to do that is like aspiring.
So I laughed like when I tell people when I first started training I was like 17, 18 kind of, right? And at that time, you train like any kid that age where it's like, okay, 4-hour workouts. It's just about getting the fucking shredded abs.
And make sure you drink your protein shake 16 seconds after your last set.
Totally aesthetic based and, whatever. And then as you like keep training, you start realizing, oh, wait a second, I should get people like eating well. I should get people like just stuff that's like, obviously you should have done that, but I wasn't focused on that. And then over time you start realizing, oh damn, like I wasn't so much focused on health. I was focused on like what comes from achieving health.
Totally.
So, over the years, I switched the whole approach now where I tell people when someone comes to me and goes, I want to train because I want a 6-pack. I'm like, well, let's just focus on being healthy and we'll do this and this and this. Because I said, you show me someone who's optimally healthy, that's eating well, training well, sleeping, etc., that doesn't have some decent abs.
You don't want to find them.
Let's not have it. I had it backwards all this time. So with and I won't even just say CrossFit training, but cross training in general. Where
functional training.
It's just, it feels good. I think the body appreciates.
Maybe it's even saying that out. Like maybe it's just about like doing it that bodybuilding way. You see quicker results, but like and I say this because now doing that reset and, taking a different, more of a lifelong approach at it. once you kind of get past that first point of like, you know, eating well, or in my case, you know, doing the rehab work and, you know, not seeing, you still kind of like go a little bit down before you start seeing the positive results. I've seen in the last 6 to 8 months changing and like now kind of like pressing the gas a little bit more on even just different training techniques, hopefully soon CrossFit, doing more of a functional style training. I've seen my body change more.
Yeah, right.
Letting it work the way it's supposed to work than I ever had foundationally and aesthetically than I did, you know, doing the, you know, in week 5 of the longest prep ever. And it's like, it's crazy how that is. And
it's, it feels better. I think it looks better in a way too, where
way better.
I don't know about you, but like, again, I speak lightly on bodybuilding cause I just barely dip my toe in the pond, that kind of stuff. Right. But going through a prep and getting down to the point where you look shredded, you feel, you don't feel great. You look amazing and you feel absolutely horrible most of the time. Right? And no one knows that from the outside looking in. So again, with, you know, something like CrossFit or just, you know, a more general approach to health, you might not get down to that same kind of leanness or the same like muscle size, that kind of stuff. But I would take that cut in those things just for feeling amazing, where it's like, I might not be down at 5-7% body fat, but I'm at 10 and I feel great and I can still perform. I don't want to be all show, no go.
I also think that if you do that, like one's short term, one's long term, if you do that like training and keep pushing yourself like that, you might not look like that in 5 months like you would in a bodybuilding state, but in 5 years, you're going to look like that and be like, wow, I actually changed that much over the 5 years. You're not going to look like, you know, you're 0% body fat with like every single, you know, X, Y, and Z plugged into the mix, but that's all relative too.
And you know what's dope about it too? I think, I mean, I don't want to say everyone should go through a bodybuilding prep, but I'm glad that I did, for the sense of like what I learned and took away from it. For
sure.
So the sense like that I could go and maybe not do that anymore, but you know, there's nothing saying you can't go and do a little mini prep once in a while because you're like, oh, I got like summer's coming up, I want to be a little more ripped or this going on. So it's like you can have whatever style of training, but take that knowledge and go, I'll do a little one here because I know how to cut down.
Even that's that discipline and like mind, like the mind experience you get from going through those, like, you know, those hard bodybuilding times.
For sure.
Like
there's nothing harder than being down completely depleted. And having to do like any reps of anything. It's like,
especially when you can like, if you're aware enough to take that discipline and like energy and okay, I learned how to do that. I know I can do it, but let me focus it on like whatever else in life. And
my kick lately is I try to push this whole do hard things, right? It's not like I made that up by any means, but I just like that idea of anything I find hard, I'm going to lean into that and do that. And that's
pick the harder option or something. Right?
For one example kind of deal, right?
You're like default to make it as hard as you can on yourself. It's like, I'm doing better. Like, you know, stubbornly, you're like, no, I need to pick the harder option, you know? And it's like, that might not always be the best option, but for your sense, it's like, you know, and picking those battles on doing the harder things. Like,
I think people are too comfortable these days, right? It's easy to kind of do stuff like shy away from effort or things that are hard or uncomfortable. So I like pushing into that more these days.
Did you, I heard someone else say, not West, what's the other CrossFit gym that just closed down in the last,
Full Send? Is that the one? Or there's just CrossFit London.
Yeah, is that because and a bunch of, were you there at all ever?
I wasn't there. I was just talking to Dave, the owner or whatever, and looking into the space again, you know, because another hermit crowd looking for the show.
Yeah, what happened with that? Because they own that building, right?
They own it.
That's kind of,
so I don't know. I hadn't really pursued it fully. I don't know if that's where I want to go or not. I kind of looked at it, but.
Are you hemming and hawing between the whole CrossFit, like, or would you, in a
style of gym?
Yeah. Or do you want just a nice little studio for yourself?
I did want studio initially just because I'm a trainer.
But that doesn't fix your problem of like being able to step back.
Stepping back. And I think too, like I just recently started coaching, like I said, over at West London CrossFit. And part of the reason I did that was it's not a financial thing at all. It's more so I want to be part of a community. As a side note here, during COVID, you know, everyone's just totally isolated and separate from each other. And it started to feel weird for me. and like everyone else too. So I kind of started up with a buddy of mine, this thing called the Health Collective. And it was just basically a way to say, hey, there's no obligations here. This is like a group, anyone can join. And it's just about like-minded individuals who want to improve their health by doing hard things.
What's that? Where is it? Like, is it like
it's just like an online type thing, whatever you want to call it. We just got a sign-up list. We got a little, you're just part of it. You just send me your name and email, you're in. But what we do is we try to just give little challenges each month. So it's typically like a suggested reading, a book of some sort that we recommend. And it's all to like address different avenues of health. And then we have like a little, like a challenge of some sort that's like movement based. So the first month was just accumulate 5 minutes of a squat hold each day, which doesn't seem like much, but for some people that's super challenging, right? Yeah. And then at the end of every month, we have like one Sunday where we get together as the collective and just do a group workout of some sort, right? It's always fitness based. Cool. But the idea is just to know that, to give people, even if we were isolated, you still know you're part of something bigger.
Where do you do that workout?
All over the place.
Randomly? Places.
Yeah. The first month we started this year in January. Yeah. In the first month we just did a 10K hike through the snow around Fanshawe Lake, which is cool though, because it just brings people together, and there's a lot of people that don't know each other, so build a community and whatever. So the whole point of that is, like I said, that's something I felt like I was missing lately. Yeah. And I really want that. So when it comes to a whole gym setup,
you need really something then for sure. Like if that's like still fueling other decisions you make, like I even listening is like, you got to create your own somewhere.
Right. Well, it helps fuel my own motivation. At the same time, that's another thing I like about CrossFit, without kind of going to that too much, is just that they do well with the community side of things, right? And that's going to carry people a lot further than going to the gym solo with your headphones,
signing in, signing out,
not talking to anybody, trying to do your workout. It's like, man, if you've got family essentially there, you want to go there all the time, you want to hang out, then by default, you're going to improve your health faster, right? Yeah. So, that's really it. So again, back to the whole like studio thing, like initially that's what I wanted, but I was like, well, that's not going to achieve that goal.
Yeah,
just moving to another gym and having other trainers in there, right? So,
So you're just slowly looking for places?
Yeah, keeping the eye out and stuff. So
that's it. You just got to be actively knowing you're active, and then something will like...
I was thinking about taking over this joint here, actually sabotaging your efforts and giving you the boot out of here. Maybe we'll arm wrestle for it.
Or we just find another place.
That's it.
We go double down.
I like it, yeah.
Because that's what I'm in now too, is like, I want, like, I see the direct impact of wellness. Like I'll say, when I say wellness, I'm referring to like our Showtime Wellness program, and how much it makes a difference in people's lives. And like this, it's small. We're just starting like the community, like the clients of the, guy, and it's how much there is. You can actually help people when you provide good services with a good environment, with like a good community. It's like, so I like same probably with you. Like I'm looking, you never know what's going to present itself, but I see there being another facility somewhere, I don't know the exact groundwork for it yet, but
as long as you're not closed off to it, right?
Yeah, no, definitely not. And like, and knowing that like you're not in a position where it has to happen, or, you're not satisfied or anything, but
I think the way you're mentioning it too is the whole being able to help people. I think that's the key, right? I mean, there's different reasons to get into gym ownership or whatever, but when you look at it through the lens of I want to help people and I want to be able to affect more people.
It's something that I didn't necessarily like, wasn't always in my forefront, because I like to be completely, I've said this on here before. It's like, I don't put myself in a category of like a personal trainer or anything like honestly, like you are, like a lot of other trainers are, who are like, do stuff to better themselves, that like, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure you see established, educated trainers like yourself see other trainers and just know the difference. Like you can point that out, or you can recognize that in your head way better than like the client, and definitely the other trainer in that situation. So what I'm saying is, I never like, when I was working with my clients, and like it was kind of more just like a job, and like, because I have the gym, and like it
was a side, or not a side
kind
thing,
of, but it was
a piece of the pie.
It was a piece of the pie, and I was never like, heavily invested in like seeing myself as like a valued health and wellness advocate for the community, as generalized as you can, referring to like personal trainers and anyone else, physio, anyone else who does it to see the benefit. So circling around to see how people's lives are changing from a program that like not necessarily I'm doing, but like Showtime's now providing under their name is like mind blowing.
Rewarding.
Yeah, like it's way more rewarding, and it makes it way easier to like make decisions knowing that that's the motivation behind it for sure. Yeah. And even talking to like, the other gym owners and stuff like that. And like, I just had I had more of like a business perspective, and I still do. Like I started from basically not business, not personal training. So I was kind of like always just wanted to grow business. And then again, personal training was a little bit on the side. Yeah. Whereas like, oftentimes other gym owners and stuff like that come from that like service background of being a personal trainer and like that. So that's what they see first and foremost. And like, I don't know. It
probably shapes different types of gyms too.
For sure.
Based on where they come from and stuff like that. But
so now I'm trying to just infuse a lot more of that into here. And then what's going to be in like having said that, we have an amazing community here, like the members and the clients and just being true to ourselves over the last 7 years has done that. All you gotta do is be a good human and like be respectful and give people,
like you said, give an option to improve their health and try to help them out wherever you can.
Yeah. So
I think something that would help, or not help, but I guess just be nicer, is there's still these like, this competition amongst other facilities and gyms sometimes in town, or like you can do this style of training, but if you do this style, like you can't do that style. Like what are you talking about, right? There's like this separation. Yeah. And I've always thought that within this industry, man, there's more than enough to go around.
Totally.
Right? We could be like the Tim Hortons of gyms on every corner or whatever. Like, and there's just enough to go around. So there's not this need for separation and competition. But it'd be really cool to see some kind of bridging somehow of like, I wanted to have like a sunfest of gyms where you like literally had everyone come together and it's like, hey, we're not here to like steal from each other. It's more sort of showcase all the different ways you can improve your health from different styles of gyms. We're all here to run free stuff, and
we should do that.
Dabble it, and just go. Wouldn't that be nice though? Because it's like we have so many people here.
So my conversation with Jacob, or no, I can't even remember. It might have been Jacob, but do you know Corey as well? Fit Club.
No.
Anyways, he owns a Fit Club. He's like, man, we should have a round table with like, because when you talk to the gym owners, like I don't have like, not to say I'm a rare breed, but I could care less about like who, maybe because I'm
Showtime or die, right?
Yeah, but like maybe because our setup's a little different. It's PT. So even I'm one removed from even what's going on in there. Each trainer rents their space to have their own thing. I'm not involved in like, so there's no real competition that way, but I don't have any animosity towards anyone else. But like, I could see how by default, there could be, anyways, me and Corey or Jacob were saying we should just have a big round table with all the gym owners in town and just like, I don't know, just make that a little community.
Everyone would be like, oh shit, we're all the same here.
Yeah. Right? But honestly, we should do that. Like,
that'd be cool.
Cause this parking lot across the street, we could get and just like throw a big event, like
just gotta bring the food trucks. That starts everything. You got food trucks, people will come.
Let's do it. Like I'm
right. I don't know. Like I said, I think there's more than enough to go around.
I think everyone would be like, "Fuck yeah, I'm on board."
Right? Because I don't know. I think it should be. It's better that there's multiple ways.
Is there anything like that? Is there any like health and wellness like sunfests or anything like that?
No, I don't know. I mean, there's individual like expos and stuff that'll be more so one company driven or something.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't have anything that blends everyone together.
Ooh, maybe that's
even would do it. Who knows? Maybe they think it's a stupid idea, but.
No, I think more people are like
a dope way to branch together, and maybe just
even just the places that I know off the top of my head, we could fill that parking lot with that have already said we should do something like this.
Yeah.
Maybe we have like a big meeting in here and like have like anyone want to do it, and like everyone will be like
scotch back there too.
Oh, so there's lots. We can go any here. I got All
right, get the ideas flowing.
Oh, for sure.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. We'll follow up on that because that's cool. Because that's what like. Yeah, I want to do it. And it doesn't have to be anywhere. It doesn't have to be here. Obviously, it could be. We could do it right. And
right.
I don't know. Whatever.
All right.
What else is going on? Do you have any like? This is a weird question that I like to ask people. Do you have any? Not weird, but like, do you have any like? I say odd, but like odd hobbies or anything like outside of working out and stuff like that. You are
odd hobbies
or just passions in general. Like
definitely passions. I think. One of my problems is too much stuff on the go. Like I want to pursue a bunch of different shit, and therefore I never get very far with any of it because I'm like, always putting 10% here and then
like
jump over here,
like
over here. So.
hobby wise, I'm talking for fun. Like you're like, I like to go. I'd ride dirt bikes every weekend or something like that. Or like
my big ones is drawing. So
oh, cool. Okay, so that's sweet.
I used to be huge into drawing as a kid. Maybe that only child, situation again. There, nothing to do.
You still
just sit there and draw. I do now a lot. Like I took a big hiatus. I stopped. This is like I like to live by like the whole no regrets type thing, right?
Yeah.
Which I believe that. I think everything's just a lesson and whatever else. But the one thing that'd be closer to like a regret is stopping drawing when I was maybe around 16 or so. So you just got to this time where you're big into sports. You grew up playing a bunch of different sports. It takes a ton of your time out. And then when I wasn't doing sports, then I'm trying to be cool and like get the girls or whatever the case. Those things take a lot of time.
The first thing that to leave might be like an creative art form.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm just not going to do it. And plus, I was a bit of a loser in terms of like, I was getting to the point in school where they're dabbling into more of the art history and things. Where I'm like, I don't want to learn about it. Like, I don't care. I just want to draw. You're an idiot. Like, wish I would have, paid more attention. But, so I stopped then, and I didn't pick it up again until I was like, I want to say 32. Right?
Really?
So I just knew every now and then I'd do something. I'd grab a pencil, and I don't know if you've got stuff that like, I think everyone's got something in there where they do it and you just feel good, or it puts you in that flow state, or you just everything in your being saying, do this. Right. So I'd notice that. I'd be drawing a little bit for the kids or something, like, I like this. Like, I really miss this. Right. So I started bringing it back in a little bit. And
was your like, when you start again, were you like, fuck, I forgot how to do this? Or were you like surprised at how good you still were?
Well, no, I felt like I was exactly like I knew where I was at skill wise at 16.
Interesting.
And I picked that back up.
What did you draw? 32. Like pencils with
pencil and paper.
What, like cartoons?
So as a kid, I used to draw a bunch of like cartoon faces. I still draw a bunch of cartoon faces, but now I can draw more. But the whole point is like I picked it up and I was like, you know what? I'm going to put my foot down and I'm going to make this a thing. Like, it's something I'm passionate about. So you should pursue your passions. So it's like every day I'm going to draw every day. And that was just it, right? That was like the goal, and I've done it now for the last whatever it's been. Do you
ever do do you work on one thing a day, just scribble, and then next day something new, a new piece of paper?
Yeah, kind of depends. Some things take longer, obviously, right? But first thing I did is just start picking up my sketchbook again and like just getting back in there. And it was frustrating because I'm like, I know I'm exactly as good as I was when I was 16. Like, this sucks. I missed out on 16 years that I could have just been like, developing my practice the whole time. So whatever, I put that aside, but I just kind of start with that, and then ventured out into like more the digital stuff, right? Because that's obviously where everything's at now is digital illustrations or digital work. So
did that translate over to this being just as good?
It's weird. It's I mean, the skill level wise, whatever the things I draw would be the same. But
still, like with a pen, like you use like an iPad type. Oh, okay. So it's still the same. It's not like you're using a mouse trying to drag and drop shit and stuff.
No, but it's hard to get used to the whole like feeling of drawing on glass versus like the tactile pencil paper, right? But no, it's been cool. It's been opening up a lot of different like styles of artwork and like commissions for people now. So the whole thing was getting back in. The goal was just to draw again because I like it. And then I thought, I don't plan to make this a job, but if whatever money comes in from it here and there.
Well, that's kind of where I was going next.
No. So yeah, I've had some like random opportunities pop up. Like I draw Post-it notes for my kids' lunch every day.
Yeah.
It's like my thing that at the very least I'm drawing some kind of something cute or funny for them and whatever. But one of my kids' teachers pulled me aside like before Christmas, and he's like, "Hey, I always see your Post-it notes. I was wondering if you could do a commission piece for my wife for Christmas." I was like, "Yeah, I knew these Post-its."
What was it?
Off. So it was a picture of their dogs.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So he's like, "It's cool. You can do it in your like kind of cartoony style, whatever." But that's where some of the digital work came in. So I was like, "You cool if I do it, digitally?" And then we just kind of print it off and whatever else, right? But
ooh, sweet.
Yeah. So
I might have. That's the next thing is like, because I love, like, I'll show you. You might maybe have seen some of the posters over there, and like, I appreciate art. Like, not that this is like this is art. You're gonna be like that, and like this is like computer. But I
based stuff, right? Or anything like that. Yeah, no, it's just I was just talking to someone at the gym before I came over here, and he was telling me that he makes music now, right? And I was saying that I think it doesn't have to be art or like drawing. It can be anything. There's a whole bunch of different ways to go, but I think everyone needs to have some kind of creative outlet.
Yeah,
and it's like a house rule I have with my kids too. And when they get a bit older, I'll be able to enforce it a bit more. But I kind of want everyone, and this applies to like everyone in the house, like myself included, at all times to have something physical. That you're pursuing, and it's also something creative or artistic.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Like I know Dad draws all the time. You don't have to draw, although Bryn's like she's dope at it.
Really?
We just set up our first YouTube channel by the way.
Oh, sweet.
She's got her own little channel. But no, they could be anything, like music or some other kind of design or whatever, right? But I think that's important because I don't know. It feels good to me. I think there's a part of everyone that wants to, I don't know.
We're going to do, I'll walk you out the side and I'll show you what I mean is, and I'll show you the reference to it is we got some graffiti actually on the back of the building here.
Yeah.
And then when we move in there, in that back unit, there's 2 big like sea cans.
Yeah.
And we're going to pile them on, like put them on one top of each other. And the owner actually, his daughter was like in long story short, we'll have, there'll be like complete blank canvas to so
nice.
It'd be cool to like have something on it.
I wish that's one thing I've never been able to get or I haven't done at all is anything spray paint related or large scale. I mean, there's ways to do it, but that's a whole different.
I'll show you back here. If you, I know this is, you're like, yeah, cool. But if you ever want to just come around and fuck around and try that, I'll show you. And this is basically what I'll walk you through. It'll make a lot more sense once I show you it. But we're going to do a big art piece and completely do those big sea cans up.
Yeah.
Completely like.
What do you have in mind? What kind of stuff you putting up?
Honestly, I don't really care. It's just art, like nothing. I don't want it to be like gym-y. Like I want it to be artwork first. And then like, I mean,
a bunch of Kai Green.
Yeah, no, like I'll show you it after. So I'm not looking through my phone now, but he sent me a picture of what his daughter drew, and it's like, fuck yeah, like that would be like, you know, the wall that you in the cardio room.
Yeah.
We just had that done. So the only thing in there is Showtime, and the rest is just like abstract stuff.
Yeah.
But more like abstract or like cartoon, like just nothing's fitness health related, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, you know, if there was a big silly cartoon face that you like, then that would be like perfectly put there type of thing.
It's
or
so
like,
funny because a lot, you know, I think when you draw, people will just like if they need something done. Doesn't matter what style or whatever they need. They're just like, you draw? Okay, good. I need your help. There's a whole bunch of different styles and things. So a lot of times people ask me to do stuff. And I'm like, well, it's gonna have to be this. It typically is more like cartoony in nature or, you know, illustration style.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I would be the first one to say like whatever you would put on your, like, you know,
no realistic Mona Lisa.
Yeah. Well, you can, whatever you want. If that's something you have that you want to do.
I hooked up with Jake with those. Well, actually, I knew those guys beforehand, but just popped over there for the CrossFit Open. Yeah. Like, can you help us with the whiteboard there and putting up some kind of stuff? So again, same thing, like drew some little cartoon faces and some different things just to add a little bit artistic. Whatever. Cool.
Yeah. No, that like drawing is kind of like the exact answer. Like I was anything else. Like not that, you know, I always curious, like, especially people tend of like, you know, something that someone wouldn't take you for is like, you know, like,
I think that's probably the more, if you want to say surprising or unexpected.
It's just fun too.
I'm geeking out in what I call like my old guy sport endeavor, right? So I'm just trying to pick up more things that are just things I can do until my goal is like 70.
Mountain 75. Bike? Do you ever?
I don't really mountain bike. I'm not opposed to it. I haven't got into it too much.
Over COVID, we have, and we like you mentioned Fanshawe. It's like we won't go around Fanshawe.
Yeah,
it takes us an hour, just over an hour. It's 20K.
Yeah.
And like, if you want something that's gonna test you, like mentally, physically, like it's fucking hard.
Get the big old fat tires and stuff.
No, you just get like you get the right equipment, but no, not necessarily. Like it's just like mountain biking. No,
see, I like that because that's something that's like, you know, it's low impact and, you know, you can do it for a long time.
Yeah, you can.
And now I grew up playing basketball mainly, and like I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
I'm 70. Like I'd love to, but I'm like, I think of the old dog that still thinks he's 15 and jumps off the deck and busts his hips. Like that's gonna be me. So I'm trying to find things like, unfortunately, snowboarding doesn't fit the bill too much. But I just picked that up like 3 seasons ago.
Well, that would be like, and you haven't ruined anything yet.
Actually, though, you know, saying that was I'm like nursing this little banged up knee from a week and a half ago. Like I literally
from snowboarding.
Yeah. So I refuse to accept that I'm like aging.
Yeah.
38 is aging. I'm like, no, like I feel good. I take care of my body. I'm not getting old. And then we went snowboarding just up at Blue Mountain the other day and had a great day of riding. Again, I'm fairly new to it, but this was like my first day where I was just like feeling it. Everything clicked, hard charging, going hard, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, we like stayed on site too. So we had a couple like drinks in the system. We pop back to the hotel, have a beer, go back out. So a little more liquid courage going through the veins. And I saw some of the kids going, like these little 10-year-olds hitting all the jumps in the parks. So I was like, oh, that looks pretty fun. It's like, yo, like I can't hit the big ones, but I could probably do like a couple little ones. So like this is what happened. I literally took the smallest kicker and just didn't even wipe out hard. I just like fell on my knee as if I was standing up and I just fell on my knee. That's probably the impact to hit. It's like, oh, that kind of smarts, whatever. and then I'm good to go. But then the next day I'm like, oh man, it's like sore. Like, do I have water on the knee? I'm like, I don't even know if you can say that to your old. I'm like, I have water on the knee. Just felt so like, and it's been there for like a week and a half.
Fuck though, like, snowboarding is like the worst thing to do though. Like at least ski.
I know. No way. So
no, I know, but like.
It's like an omen around it though, because the reason I got into it is one of my clients that I've had now. He's a good buddy, been training with me for like 7-8 years. He came to see me initially because he took up snowboarding at 40
and had an incident
and broke his femur around a tree. Right? So he's like, hey, I need you to repair me. I still want to keep snowboarding.
One day we're gonna go together.
So and he kept bugging me every year. He's like, this year you gotta come. I'm like, no man, it's not for me. I don't like winter stuff at all. And then finally I tried it, and it's just like cocaine. I'm like, this is so
awesome.
Sick. Like, learning curve, whatever. But once you get it, you're like, one, it gives me a reason to actually enjoy winter sports or winter time. But it's so much fun. And again, it's just like, if you've got ability and natural ability with a lot of stuff, you're like, why not do fun shit? So, but ironically, that guy, the same guy that brought me out, we went snowboarding this year again. And we were the one day, I'm going to head home. He's like, I'm going to stay. I'll go one more day. You want to stay? I was like, no, I think like I'm good. I'm gassed. I'm going to go. He's like, all right, I'm sticking here. So whatever he does. And the next day he sends me a picture from the hospital.
Oh God. Oh my God. So that's like, terrible.
Back to the start here. So maybe I should take that as a sign not to be this old guy.
Now you're done for the year, unless you're going to some crazy places to travel to for the year. Like that.
But it's good. So yeah, that doesn't fit the whole category of old guy sports, as I call it. But things like rock climbing. Or I've been doing rucking a lot lately.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't know, that's way more impressive than I thought, or challenging than I thought it would have been. So
do you ever I cannot bring it back to like fan shop, but like, fuck, that's a great place. Do you go around? You just hiked around it, but that would be a solid
enough, but I'd like to go more.
In the summer, get out there, do the walk around. Cause it's 20K. We haven't actually walked it. I'm down to walk it, but
bike. You gotta get yourself a little rucksack then and join me. Just to have an excuse. I mean,
what's that?
Great. It's just like essentially like a beefed up backpack. That hold weight, right? I mean, you can put weight in any backpack and just do it, but
different than a weighted vest. That doesn't count.
Yeah. So I've got a weighted vest, but the way the weight distribution is, it's harder
easier
to breathe and stuff too. So imagine having like just a backpack, the straps. Feels better, more support when you go at it. But have you heard of GoRuck by chance?
No.
Check them out, goruck.com, and basically they just make all this. It's kind of like military inspired equipment. Whatever. But it's just like, again, beefed up so you can hold more weight and it's more.
So is it hard as fuck?
It's not hard as fuck. It's just like
a new challenge.
It's just more than walking, right? So I have a backpack or a ruck with like 50 pounds that I throw in at like 2 25-pound plates.
So where do you go? You just marching up and down.
I walk the kids to school. I look like a loser if I'm like the guy that
I always remember. Do you know Cedric McMillan, the bodybuilder?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Tall. He's pretty goofy. Like is character, but I remember him I remember seeing a picture of him with pulling a tire, with some pulling a tire behind him, walking his daughter to school or like down the street to the bus or something like that.
My thing is like, I want to be able to find ways to infuse health where I can, right? So like I do stupid shit, like I always park at the farthest part, just so I can walk, right? I just want if I can do it, I'm going to use my body.
But you're not sprinting to the door.
It's just these little things, right? Like I remember talking to someone about how to improve someone's diet, and they said, forget trying to take all the bad things out, just keep putting good things in. And it's going to start
filter out the rest.
So I look at it similar, where if you just put enough good, healthy habits in, or like, I don't know the last time I've taken one step at a time. Like, going upstairs, it's always two. Because I'm like, well, it's a small thing, but I'm like, it's gotta like add up over time, right? So when like for kids at school, I'll like wear the rucksack, which I get stares from parents all the time. Where I'm not doing that, I'm like running to pick them up and like, there's David doing that shit.
Whatever, right? Man. See me in 30 years.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be doing the same thing.
I like seeing. I'm like, you probably. How old are you now?
I just turned 30.
You're 30. So this is like
I'll be 31 this year.
I mean, you even see it earlier than that, but you start to notice yourself. If you're someone who takes care of health, well, not just you, but the other people. Your cohort, the people your age, that aren't in the same lifestyle, they start to just like fall apart real quick,
big time,
right? So it doesn't take much. If you just maintain your health, you're going to see these people start to go.
It came down. Especially more because some of those people are bodybuilding related, and it's like I made that switch at a good time. Where, luckily, in the last like 3 years, I'll say pre-COVID 3 or 4 years, I was like just business. So I was like, if I was getting in here, my workouts came absolute last to everything. Like I had came to the point I'm like, okay, I need to make time to work out now, because like I'll work out 5 days a week, but work out for 10 minutes because I'm distracted, vacuum, it's like just a story of, not putting your phone down or
For sure.
letting those distractions, influence your workout. So I kind of subsequently made me stop working out as much, not working out as much, but it stopped me from continuing to go hardcore and like the bodybuilding and doing that damage that I would have done in that time. And then again, the last 2 years, like resetting, and like, I think I, by some crazy, fluke events, caught it at the right time, switched it enough where I don't have any, like, so far that I know about, like, terrible injuries where it couldn't be fixed with just being more aware. Exactly. Without, spending the time to fix and like, pay attention to them. But it's exciting because now
more bodybuilding, man.
What's bodybuilding? No, not really. Like even a while ago, I was like, I came to the realization first that if I wanted to be a bodybuilder, I wasn't going to be growing a business. You can't do both. It's like
something's got to give.
Yeah. Right? So I even back then, 5 years ago, or whenever I stopped bodybuilding for the bodybuilding purposes, I was like, I'll do this if I want to do this in 2, 5, or 10 years from now, if I'm in the position to put everything of my life on hold, I don't have to work for 6 months. I don't have, whatever there is in the equation. If I can just take off from all of that and I still want to do a show, that's when I'll do it. But not until I've can put everything into it and not have to like sacrifice family or the gym or anything like that.
Kind of have to, right?
I think so.
People ask me about bodybuilding or like doing shows in general. It's especially if they're new to it. I try to remind people that, not in a bad way, but it's a selfish sport, right? I don't mean, usually people think selfish is a negative term. I don't mean that. I just mean like it requires a lot of time, a lot of focus. And if you want to do the best at it,
totally,
you want to be able to go into it saying, hey, I'm devoting all my time, or at least to my training,
and even
my
you,
diet,
like,
my sleep,
and that might not be everyone that has that, but I'm not even as disciplined as like, or accountable to myself as probably, definitely like you are to yourself, and like holding, and I still think that way. It's like, I know you relating to this sitting across would be like, never be able to be happy with yourself, wasting all that time knowing you didn't do everything you needed to do, or even more so, knowing you missed aspects of your kids' lives, that you chose the hours of cardio versus the hours of playing in the backyard.
You don't want that way in the back of your mind.
No,
right?
Either way, either way, even if I'm okay making that decision, I want to go into that show knowing that, and it's like, it just doesn't work out in the end. Like either way, it sounds like a lose-lose, so sure. Definitely and I was the same. Like, even though I did a little bit more, maybe shows and stuff, I was never going to be like anything. I mean, I'd come to see, later in our lives, 99% of people are not going to be like what they perceive they think they can be, or even if they're not, even if they are honest with themselves, know that they can't. Like,
it's a tough ass sport, right?
Yeah. So
I think too, that's also, it became, I don't know. I don't see it as much. I kind of got off social media, partially because I was seeing like the people I was following and whatnot was just all centered around, I don't want to say just like bodybuilding stuff, but it was all aesthetics and diet stuff and all health. And it was like cool, but there's a lot of superficiality to it. I was like, this is feeling weird. I don't want to see it. So I kind of jumped out altogether. So I don't see the industry as much, but I will say it felt like it got really trendy. Yeah. And you can speak to that more now. Like, it was like everyone wanted to do a show.
Yeah.
And my grandma said she's doing a show. And I had someone talk to me before saying, you know what? It's changed a lot, where the whole sport's kind of been diluted from these efforts.
Big time.
It used to be if you could walk into your gym and say without a doubt, like you look around, you're like, I am hands down the fittest.
Yeah.
I've got the most genetics here. So like, okay, I should probably do a show.
Yeah.
Not just hey man, that looks kind of fun.
Yeah.
I should do it.
And I'm like,
a lot of people that get like James crushed. Like, I can't get my pro card. I can't go on.
Yeah.
Well, you never were.
And I even like, I'm in the middle between like completely kind of getting off it. Like, I don't pay attention to any, like, even the bodybuilders and like stuff on, some people for just in your immediate circle, but I stopped following all those people. It does nothing for me now. And I don't like, not that it needs to do something, but like,
it can start doing the wrong thing.
I had less and less interest in it, right? It's just simply put, I had less. So I didn't completely remove like from the social media and stuff like that, but I did like, I've slowly just like, as bodybuilders pop up on my feed, I'm like, I unfollow. You know, and I guess that might just be like a
evolution of you too,
a stain that I have from that stuff that goes on, and an evolution too, for sure.
What I like, so when I kind of shut everything down, so no social media, and then as I started pushing my artwork more, I was like, okay, well, if I want to gain some exposure from this side of things, I should probably put myself back out in some facet.
Yeah.
So then, I added Instagram back on, but what was nice is that I only started following artists.
Yeah.
Right? So it was like, I just wasn't even thinking before. You can totally curate your feed. So it's like, now when I open up, it didn't feel like Instagram. I'm just looking at
inspiration.
Artwork, right? It's not people. It's not, because sometimes you can get, if you're following like whatever people with amazing bodies and stuff like that, or like people that are just always talking about their great diet and how their life is, you can almost get down and out.
Inevitably, even if you're super strong, it's like someone's telling you something. Yeah, inevitably it gets to you.
And it's like, and no one's posting the bad shit, right? So it's like, I'm having a great day. This is amazing. I'm like, no one says like, here's the reality of my life. It's not the greatest. Right?
Totally.
So, you just changed it up a little bit, and it's worked a lot better for me now, man.
Same even. And it's allowed me to focus on like, just the stuff that matters, I guess.
Yeah.
What else? What's the date? What's Tuesday? What are you guys doing? What do your weekends normally look like? Traveling anytime soon or anything?
No traveling. COVID kind of put a wrench in that gear for me for a while.
Yeah.
And plus we're waiting for like the Disney trip kind of thing.
So,
And the kids are a little older, right? So it's just been little like weekend trips here and there. But yeah, weekends are just about not much, man. Training. I spend most of my time in the gym, like Monday through Friday, a little bit of Saturday training, and then I try to maximize kid time on the weekend. I'm sure you guys are probably similar, or
we are. Like, we're super flexible. So anytime we can be with, or like that we are free, it's there, right? Like, again, this is an easy excuse to be at the gym, but still be at home. Like, it's fun. Luckily we can do a little bit of whatever we want and like have that flexibility for sure.
Yeah.
But no, we're going to Montreal on the 1st, so next weekend, I think.
Just for shits?
Yeah, we went to Quebec and Montreal, drove to Quebec, and then drove through Montreal for a night. Is that this year? Yeah, maybe in the summer.
Those trips are different with a kid now, eh?
No, well, the parents come down and like, because she's still like, because she's just turned. We want to. It's not that we're like no kid trips, but up until now, I've been doing a couple of them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Up until now, she's too young to like. Now she's like, we can take her like for sure more like. There's less restrictions because of her just like capability as a human, I guess. Mm-hmm. And but I'm sure we still have to like. Luckily, our parents, like none of they're not in London, but they're like super supportive. Honestly, a lot of what keeps us at home is the two dogs.
Yeah,
because who's gonna come watch two dogs, let alone stay at our house, and then like to send one dog one direction and the other the under, that's like that'll never happen. Like, when are you gonna drive a dog down to Windsor and one down to Sarnia
for sure,
just so you can go? So, but it's not a complaint. I don't know.
It's good you got the tribe helping out though, right, with family and whatnot. But whole, like, I thought it was gonna be amazing taking the kids out for trips and stuff, and it's better now, but like you gotta prepare for it. And again, 2 kids is different than 1.
Yeah, still.
Worse, like, road trip, we're doing this. And then it just quickly devolves into the kids crying or complaining about something.
Yeah. I guess you got to just like put on a face or whatever.
I have a cap. Like, I like the 3-hour max is pretty much.
Drive-wise?
Yeah. Otherwise, you got to have like, we do hour-long like stops where they've got little things like little, I don't know, a gift here or we got a snack here.
Yeah.
But it's like on the hours. So it's like, that's about as far as they can go. Okay, this toy's, I'm bored of this one now. Okay, boom.
Yeah, see, we're still not even at that. Like, she's still, we're navigating through it because we don't want to like, I want to be that, have those type of outlets and not just shove a screen in front of her face and like, okay, you're good for 5 hours because you're watching 6 movies. It's like, no, I'm going to make sure that never happens.
That was such a noble choice of ours. And initially we're like, no screens. We're going to be those parents that just don't, well, not no screens, but like really minimize it.
Yeah.
It's an easy go-to, like you said. But it's probably been the hardest decision to do is just not rely on that. Cause
but you still, you're not saying we gave in.
No,
like you're you just got to be creative.
Comes in more than you'd expect, though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like I don't know, like you just try to keep
restaurants, anything.
Dang, but we were just talking about a friend of ours who the other day at their house they had their kids eating dinner and they're like watching their iPads while eating dinner. I'm like, that's way too much for me. Like, I don't know. What are you doing?
It's hard because like, who are you? Right. Exactly. Like, I'm like, I don't, my kids, it's like, that almost implies that parent's doing something wrong. And it's like, it's not what we're here for, but like,
yeah. Right. It's just like, it's hard, but I can see where that's enticing at times.
Yeah.
Right?
Especially it's a little rabbit hole. Like
on the TV and like, they're just like brainwashed.
Yeah. Right? Especially if you do it once and you get that break, like it really takes your discipline to like, I got to suck it up. I got to be, listen to the whine or be more present. And
I made I don't want to say mistake, but I've started doing some Nintendo with the kids, right? So we got a Nintendo Switch, and I thought, okay, they're 4 and 6, so this is a good time to introduce. Like, that's the reason I got it, because all these Mario games.
Yeah,
and it's been awesome, like watching them play, because I remember being that age playing myself, and my daughter's into it. My son is like really into it.
Yeah.
Like, too much. So I'm like, I think I just gave this kid crack. Like, he woke me up this morning, even comes in, and he'll just have these obscure comments about like level strategies and stuff. He's like, Dad, I was thinking, like literally this morning at like 5:30, he's like, hey, Dad, I'm thinking with Bowser, if we hit him with that one shell, then you could probably jump on it and it won't be that hard. I'm like, okay, thanks, man.
I was thinking the same thing.
He close the door, right? And then like, he can't say his V's yet, so he's all about video.
Yeah.
You want to play some video game?
Yeah.
Like, say it
but
like
that's
that.
cool. Like, that's funny, like,
right? But he's like, that's where his mind's at. So it's like, that's a hard one to limit, because he even asked me this morning, he's like, today, Dad, we play a video game?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude, man, but right?
Yeah, like maybe we'll go outside and make our own or something. Yeah. But it's all give and take. It's
been a way for me to infuse fitness, though, because the rule has always been like, if you want to play video games, you either have to go outside, we do something active out there, or like you go in the garage, like the gym, and work out with Dad.
Yeah.
So that's worked out well, because the kids like understand they got to do something.
Yeah.
And like they love the workouts.
Do they work out or fuck around with you much?
Kill it. Yeah, they love it. Like I just bought some. You talk about having a broomstick. I've got like the mini kids stuff, like different bars for them. So
they play sports.
Moves.
Other than the last
COVID, right? So
what?
Get back in that soccer, basketball, gymnastics.
We just signed Tatum's up for soccer in June or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's luckily she was at a good time where like she didn't, she was never had to put a mask on her. She was at daycare, which was like school hours, so she was still with her group. Like it's a little daycare in Komoka with 5 kids, so it's she was had the same development she would. She didn't really like
kind of lucked out with that, right?
Kind of timing wise, it was perfect, assuming it's all behind us, but I can't, like having, so she's starting this, we're going to start soccer, same gymnast, whatever she wants to do, like just fucking try it all. I don't care.
And see what sticks, kind of deal. Yeah, I like that. I'm looking forward to doing a lot more. My little guy missed out. He's the one that's just like all piss and vinegar, like I was saying earlier. He just wants to run through a wall all the time. So he's the guy I think will flourish the most doing things like all the different sports. He's missed out on it a lot, right? So he's done like one round of soccer and some swimming, kind of one thing, gymnastics kind of deal, right?
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to just giving him a bunch, because he just his favorite thing to do is just burpees, which is the weirdest thing. Like, Dad, can we do burpees? And like I got a video off to show you sometime where he we're going back and forth with like him and Brandon. They're taking turns. Like I was just counting. Okay, you do 5, then you do 5. You do 6. You do 6. And this one clip, you see Bryn finish hers, and then she's like, I'm like, okay, get out of the way. And Brixton just like flies in and like drops down. He's like just going through like crazy.
That's hilarious.
He loves it. So I think like he needs that outlet, and hopefully sports, if we can play again now, will be a good thing for him, man, for sure.
Cool. What else? You got anything else?
What else? No, I feel like I'm kind of boring. Like,
no, not at all. It's like the reason why I was like, it's kind of weird because you never know. Like this year's super casual and stuff like that. But like me and you had all this is like just new information to me too, because we haven't. So long, it's been so long, and
I feel like at this point, like one of my like biggest pet peeves is small talk. Right? I just don't like it. Or maybe it's not good at it, so I shy away from it. But I feel like once you get a bit older, the conversation typically is like, well, everyone's got this, or if you haven't seen someone for a while too, like, what's new? It's like, well, still working, still parenting. You're like, okay,
same
cool.
case, yeah.
Good chat, right?
I guess, it's true, but you get like-minded individuals. I think it depends.
Well, you have to have other stuff, like you mentioned, like, hey, do you have any other weird hobbies or stuff? And I find I think my friends probably hate that I asked those kind of questions, like what are you into, or what are you reading right now? What do you find? What makes you
that's
happy?
maybe like that's why it's like I don't
have those answers. A lot of people are like, well, I don't know, I'm not reading anything. But that's cool. You're not reading books. Like, what do you do with your time? Like, watch some Netflix. And like, again, not to knock that lifestyle, but I've got a list like a mile long of just things I want to do all the time.
Same, yeah. And curiosity.
I stress out because I don't have time to do all these different things. Like I want to learn guitar. I want to practice my Spanish. I want to play.
Yeah, totally.
And it's like, that's, again, my own kind of detriment, having too many things on the go. But I find it crazy when people have nothing on the go. I just don't understand it. But maybe that's a way more relaxed lifestyle.
Naturally filtered out, though. That type of person isn't going to be the person to be sitting in the chair across, I guess, right?
True, right? Yeah.
I don't know. It's all super casual too. So even like, I wouldn't want to like have a set groundwork for what we're going to talk about either, because that becomes like less and less like natural, I guess.
Yeah. We'll have to have a second business sometime after we get the whole like fitness conglomerate going on of some sort. That
either that we got to do that.
Get your CrossFit game going.
We got to do that, and once you have a space.
Yeah.
But I'm serious. And even after today, like when we're done here, is like I'd love to like book like. I need someone that wants to work out with me too, like in the sense of like, or maybe not even. Again, I'll pay you to come just like put me through a workout. Yeah,
that's the thing. You just want to. It's nice to do it individually, but it's even better to do it with someone else, because at first you're just going to learn the movements and have fun, just getting pushed.
And that's what
being there.
That's what
slowly you're gonna get competitive. I know you will. And then we start to go like, hey, we won't say necessarily we're battling each other, but we are.
That's what I got too. And like, I just need to get this, because I have this natural curiosity now for the push, like everything that we just talked about, what draws you to CrossFit, the pushing, the environment, everything in between. But and they were saying, OEV was saying, that's half the thing, is doing it with other people, having that like camaraderie and like those. And I'm like, yeah, I want that. I don't want to just be like, when I say CrossFit, I want to experience it, all of it, whether it's like, but being a little reserved as far as in general, I want to just low key do it over here first. So I'm not just like, I don't know.
Get your basics up, and then at least you fit in, or you feel like you belong a bit more. Right. And I don't know. I just jumped into I got a little competition going on next month. It's CrossFit inspired, but it's low key, and whatever, it's entry level, right? But it's the same thing. I just want to get in and do these things. And I know these things I suck at, but the nice thing with it too is that there's so many elements to it, right? So it's not just like, a regular workout where you got to get good at 10 different exercises or whatever. You've got so many different things. So you can be fucking awesome at this thing and this thing and this thing, and suck balls at this over here. But it's okay. It all levels out. And it's just like, well, I know I need to work on these a bit more, and these are my strengths. And it's nice that way, because like, I don't know, everyone's got something to be kind of proud of, and you can go, okay, this is my day, because like and I'm like, yo, we're rocking like handstand walks. You're like, well, I suck at those, but then there might be like a heavy ass deadlift day. You're like, sorry, Dave, I got you in this. Right? And that's kind of nice, because then you can, I don't know, a little bit something for everybody, which I like. But the goal is just being good, a little, like 80%
diverse,
everything kind of deal.
I can't fucking do handstand walks. Do I have to learn how to do that?
Gotta learn how to do that.
Can I learn how to do that?
For sure. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Depends. You're pretty big, so we'll have to.
What would be the limiting factor? I'm pretty like flexible and limber though.
Shoulder flexibility.
Okay, we'll do this.
Some balance. We'll see. Yeah, but that's what's kind of fun, right? You might, I don't know. There's things that are just fun to learn, right? And then once you I've been doing handstands for a long time. There's people that are way better at it than me, but there's a lot of people that don't do it. So you talk about like weird little hobbies and stuff. That's not a hobby, but I like
skill sets.
I can juggle.
Yeah. That's exactly what I mean. Yeah.
Shit that's like, I don't know. Like, like I want to learn how to ride a unicycle.
Yeah.
Just for the sake that I'd be like, I don't know, not many people do it.
Challenge. Yeah.
I can do it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
No, we'll definitely get that going for sure.
Okay, cool. Like I said, if there's anything else you got, we can.
Nah, man. I don't know. I think this is pretty good for part one.
Yeah. Okay. We'll come back, and either I do though. I got to make a group. I'll slowly like put a group out of like people that I think would want to contribute to some sort of like gym community, and like, and it doesn't have to be gym ownership, like owners necessarily, but I think that it starts there probably with like,
but it'd probably be the small organized first, right? Like, it'd be cool to, Good Life's always out at every spot, right?
Fuck that.
We don't necessarily need a Good Life tent out there, but at the same time, that's.
Hey, whatever. Yeah,
who wants to go that way, but I can't see someone like that going, or like a corporation like that being down.
No, small. Anyone that we've talked to, gyms, like between me and you, and the other Corey and Sarah, and Jacob, like between there, it's like enough people to, willingly like volunteer some time to get some. And then even more so just to create dialogue between like, because that seems to be the common denominator in,
connections. And I think too, like what I thought initially, I thought, you know what? So each of these gyms that come out, for example, they're all going to have their membership base, and they're all like, those people are, you're loyal to your gym. So that's cool. It's not really, there's a fear of someone going, oh shit, now I'm leaving from this gym to this one. But it's more so about hopefully bringing people that aren't in a fitness community somewhere out,
totally
having like all these things to pick from. And then it's like, cool.
I haven't talked to a single person that's worried about their members going elsewhere or anywhere else. It's 9 times out of 10. It's like, hey, if you want to go, I don't want you to be somewhere that you don't want to be.
Yeah.
Exactly. Even anyone here, it's like, anyone ever, like, there's no contracts. There's like, I don't want a member to pay their membership just for the sake of paying it. And like, that might seem like, why the fuck not? Like, wouldn't it be awesome to have all your, like Good Life's thing is like 90% of the members just don't go and pay. Basically. And it's like, no, because there's always people that will fill that spot, and you want to create that like
integrity,
value.
That's what I look at it. You want to help people that want to be helped. And
totally. So
definitely more than enough to go around.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's do it.
Thanks for coming, sir.
Thanks, buddy.